Hello artists! This is a really quick demo that's going to do the overview of how to etch or scratch your plate. So the size of your plexiglass is going to be custom to the drawing that you've completed. And to get yourself started, you'll need a piece of plexiglass that matches your drawing, cut out, removed from the sketchbook. You'll also need some masking tape. You'll need to get yourself one of these scribes, metal scribes, and then you'll want some scrap black paper as well. So the first step, once you have your drawing removed, you can see here, I've got this one. It was a square drawing, 6 by 6. So I used the cutter, or I found a piece of plexiglass that matched that 6 by 6 ratio. And then when you do first get the plexiglass, you'll notice it's got some covering on it. And so you're going to want to find the corner. And if this is just a scrap piece here, carefully remove the coating or the protective covering from both sides of the plexiglass. If you're having any trouble getting it started, you can use the end of a pencil or pen, but you really want to try not to scratch the piece of acrylic. Okay, so both sides of the plastic protecting have been removed. They can go in the garbage. You would use your tape to fully tape your image behind the plexiglass and just needing to secure it on one edge fully across. So typically, you can see here, I just secure it across the top edge. Now the tip of this scribe or this etching tool is not going to change. It's going to give me a really delicate and thin line. And if I just begin with normal drawing pressure, okay, that line is going to print, but it's not going to give me those deep and rich tones. And so to create value, if I'm working in a specific area and I wanted this to be darker, I need to do a couple of things. The first thing is I need to give it more hatching or cross-hatching or scribbling or stippling. Need to give it much more of that to start to build up the area. And then I also might need to press quite a bit harder. So a tip with that, let's say I was working in the tail, you don't want to muscle it right away because you could lose control and get a scratch across. And so I just like to begin with a normal or gentle pressure, and then it creates kind of a trough or a valley, and then I can place the tool in that same spot and add a bit more pressure and a bit more pressure as I go without losing control of the tool. Okay? And especially around a curved area, this might be important. The acrylic or the plexiglass has a little bit of a grain to it, sort of like a wood grain. Although it's invisible, it sometimes is easier to go one direction than the other, and sometimes following a curve or a contour can be really challenging. So I'm just been working along. I'm now tracing my drawing, my detailed sketch. I'm just tracing that using the scribe. It's going to take quite a few classes. It's going to take patience. And then if you're wondering how it's beginning to look, that's what the black paper is for. So as you're working, you can slide the paper beneath and it will reveal what you've etched or scratched so far. So something to know is that any areas that are like the lighter and brighter it is, the darker it's going to print. If you wanted to make lines thicker, you're going to have to draw several lines close together. One last thing you'll find, there's little shavings or little bits. You can just brush those away, tap those away. And some people don't love the sound that this tool makes. So if you listen again, if that is a bit like fingernails on a chalkboard to you, then certainly make use of music or something else to distract yourself from that sort of scratching sound as we work through this step. Once everything that you've scratched looks deep enough, you can see it clearly. If you take your finger there, you can feel it. When it looks almost just like your sketch or plan, then we're going to be ready to print. Good luck etching your plates.